Bam, we're live. Let's admit everyone. Hello, guys. Good evening. How are you all?
Hey, evening.
Good evening.
Hello, hello.
I was just watching Guay's stream.
It's great to see so many regular drivers today. And we got a good group forming on Track Help. What's up? What's up, Marcel?
Yeah, nothing much.
How was the F1? You're my weekly F1
Boring.
correspondent. You seem to give the best analysis.
Yeah, just plain and simple boring. Norris was way too fast.
All right. Because I heard something that if Verstappen gets maximum points or second place, he still wins the championship now.
Yeah.
What was
exact.
that? What was that all about?
If Norris wins everything with fastest lap, he will get 25 points off, obviously.
Yeah.
But Max will get 18. And there are only 6 or 7 races left. So that's 42 or 49 points.
Wow.
But the difference is 52 already. So, and I don't mind. Really.
We were hoping for a
Sprint races.
2021 ending. Doesn't look like we're going to get it.
Sorry, Andre.
I was saying there's also sprint races which are harder to.
Exactly. Yeah, that one I forgot. Yeah.
And I think
Wow.
most of the remaining ones are sprint races, if I'm not mistaken.
Really? Oh my god.
Like Austin is sprint.
Qatar is
Brazilian
going to
is
be
sprint.
different. Stay tuned. We got some exciting footage planned. If all goes to plan that weekend, we got some special footage for KTips. KTips with F1. I don't know if you guys were following the channel from last year. We managed to, get some nice interviews with some of the drivers. Got them to sign some of the T-shirts, and we gave it away to you guys. And that's the plan for this year. But hopefully, for some of the bigger teams. So we got the Williams boys. I think it was the Alpine team as well. But this time we need to go for Ferrari, Mercedes, Red Bull. So stay tuned. Keep your eye out for December for that. We have got people joining in today, and there's a lot to cover. Just going through our list for today, we're expecting Saad, who's here, Noor, Yani, Hassan, Andrea, of course, and I believe there was somebody else. What we're going to do is jump into some comments before we get started. We got Saad saying, is Verstappen going to make a comeback? In what way, Saad? I think he's already leading. He doesn't have to make the comeback. If you're implying about maybe his performance lately, I think he'll hope to finish off with that. Today's format, guys, for Track Help, we're going to go through some footage. Andre, you've obviously submitted some from a couple of weeks back. We're definitely going to go through that.
Mhm.
Same for Hassan. You've been waiting a couple of weeks. We got a couple of track diagrams from Noor, from Saad, which we're going to go through. Before that, I want to dedicate the first portion towards the exciting announcement of the second edition of the ebook. Who's downloaded it from here so far?
I have.
Downloaded
Yep,
it?
downloaded.
Excellent. Give us one sentence feedback from each of you. Let's start with Rami.
It's a very great book. I didn't finish it yet since I'm having lots of homework.
So it's a
But
longer
it's-
book.
Yeah, so it's very nice.
Excellent. Marcel?
Yeah, while reading, I was missing. When does he start about gloves or weight or things like that? And everything is covered. I was really impressed.
And I appreciate your feedback, because a few months back we were putting things out. And Andre as well, you put some excellent feedback about links. I don't know if you saw those in the updated ebook.
I can't remember what my feedback was, but I'm very happy that it helped. And once again, I really like that it's so visual and you have so many diagrams and pictures and everything. It's really good.
And that's what we want to try and keep it engaging. Also cover the range of key topics and Hassan, did you have any feedback?
Unfortunately, I haven't had any time to read it, but I will give you some feedback as soon as I'm done.
Looking forward to that. Let's go over to Guy.
Coach, can I just have a
Go
quick
for it. Go for
question?
it, Rami. Before we go on
If
to
I can
Guy.
discuss something like about my karting later, in the first hour, because I have to go sleep. I have school tomorrow. Do you think we'll have time?
No worries. What we'll do, let's go over to Guy. We'll come to your question,
Okay.
and then you can be on your way. All right?
No, what are we doing here, boys?
Go ahead. Now the main
Oh.
review. So when I was thinking about who's the best person to speak to about a review, who did a good review of the first ebook? Well, Guy came to mind. So Guy, introduce yourself and give us your review.
First of all, can everyone hear me all right? Just want to double check because I'm not using my proper mic this time, so I'm just using a headphone mic. But hello,
Your
my name's
mic
Guy.
is a bit loud.
A bit loud. Okay.
Yeah, it is.
I'm a loud person. Give me a second. Okay, so essentially, my name's Guy. I'm a YouTuber, and I also do a lot of karting. And I, of course, did the ultimate guide and review on this last time, which consisted of literally just me roasting the crap out of KTips.
I think it was called Roasting KTips, right? That was the name of
basically that was literally the name of the stream, Roasting KTips. Yeah. We're going to do a proper review this time. I don't know how Omar wants to do, because of course you can pull up your kind of screenshot. I've got it on my second monitor here.
Are you able to share your screen, or they'll mess it up for you?
Will that work? Well, what I don't want is it to start echoing. Let me give it a try.
Yeah.
I mean, where is it? So turn this, because
Should be the middle
I'm
one,
also
present now.
live streaming on my channel as well. I'm not promoting, I'm just training. I'm also live streaming on my channel now. I don't want things to get really kind of messy, if that makes sense. Share. I need to maybe not share the audio on this. Give me 1 second to figure this out. Here we go. Entire screen to screen 2. If I do this,
Beautiful.
does that work for you guys? Infinity mirror.
Yep. There we
It
go.
works.
Yeah, and
This is it.
I just want to double check. So everyone can hear me on this stream. Everyone can hear me on my stream. We're all good, and there's no echoing.
Perfect.
Right.
It
Okay.
works.
So first of all, the first thing I want to mention is this is of course about the content, but the design on this year's karting handbook is I'm loving the blue. Blue's always been my color anyway, but
True.
I prefer this over the red. It's more lively and bright. But to really kind of get into the content, I want to really mention this. So much content to look through. I was looking at it basically the entirety of last night and the entirety this morning. I didn't even get through all of it because I really want to go in depth. The main thing I would like to mention is just the fact that he doesn't boast too much about what he's been in, which is really, really good to see, because I know some people do, and he just gets straight into it basically with a good explanation on the beginner section and then what this is all about. But the content is excellent, and this is the first place to start and the best place to start right here, in my opinion. You want to be comfortable in that go-kart. If you're crammed in and you can't be comfortable, you're not going to be fast. The diagrams are incredibly useful, and they're good quality pictures. I'm zooming in all the way here, and I know the guy. You've got a guy to take them. This guy on the Instagram, and he's done an excellent job, and I love the way you've incorporated that into there. But really, the hand positioning is good. I mean, you know me, Omar. I'm a freak. I have my hands up here and then down there and different corners. But that's just how I work. But the fact that it's really beginner friendly, but then also the fact that it caters for all sorts of variety of drivers. Like, I wouldn't have known that these were the optimum positions. I just whack my hands wherever I want to. And the inclusion of real world examples here with this is Milton Keynes turn 1. I'm a genius. I know that off the top of my head. It's probably not now I've said it. That is Milton Keynes turn 1. Yeah. And the fact that it's really easy to visualize, especially with the lovely old cap cut arrows.
Oh, you know.
I know.
The one red arrow.
Yeah. So, and just the variety of it is really good. The fact you've got every single different corner type here, and the explanation. If I was to use this, I would really bang it into So drill it into people's minds if they're beginners and intermediates. I think this is perfect for that. And I also think there is some really valuable information there for advanced people. Slow in, fast out. This is a lovely, great section. The fact this is chapter 2 and it's telling you that yes, slow in is better than going fast in. There's a lot of people, they come to their first karting session like, wow, speed. And then I'm sitting there marshalling them as I work at Team Sport. And I'm like,
Yeah, you
there's
see
a
that.
barrier there, dude. You just buried yourself into the barrier because you did not use slow in, fast out. I mean, of course, the action yap is just
Track to track, it'll vary.
yeah, of course, but that's good. And so my stream can't hit. We don't worry about that. We're just doing this for now. They're keeping the revs high, another really good section, and it really does make me think about things that when you're driving around and I'm kind of zoned out. I'm like, oh, look at me, I'm just on a public session. But having this there to read after a session, my best way to use this for me. I'm not even saying get the hard book because I'm not trying to promote paying money, but the fact this is free, and if they want to, they probably could print this out, even certain sections of it.
Absolutely.
Bring it to the track and be able to say, here's what I'm going to work on today. Come off a session and then have it here. It's brilliant.
Question from Marcel.
Guy, somebody on your.
I know they can't hear me, and I don't understand why. But I said also I'm going to be doing this bit here, and then I'll mute myself on the on the Google Meet, and then I'll do a quick review on my channel as well if that's okay, Omar. But I'll stay in the meeting. But just because I want to cover all bases. So Marcel, if you can do me a favor, if you want to type in my chat, he will be back in a second. That'll be brilliant.
Oh, of course. No worries.
That's really kind of you. Thank you. But also, when we got to there's so many pages, I need to find out exactly my favorite bit. I said last night, yes, that's the one. A lot of people don't cover this wet weather racing. It's such a reality that in the UK, especially, it's going to rain, and I love the fact that you said. Let me try to find it here. I love the fact that you say that. I think one of the first things you said is it's not the same.
Absolutely.
It really isn't the same. It's so. Have I gone past it? There's so much content here. Oh my days.
Just pay attention to the top part. The heading of the page here is so 2 more.
Yeah.
They're not 2 more. Just there.
Yeah, here we go. There we go. See, the first thing he says is it's different. You want to turn it earlier, but then he doesn't just say okay, it's slower, and you used to have slow entry, and then he leaves it there. He actually explains that there's actually human ABS, and I love that.
Love a bit of human ABS, yeah?
That needs to be printed onto a T-shirt, otherwise I'm going to kill you, Omar.
We have the human DRS T-shirt. Maybe.
Yeah, but you need a human ABS and a bit of rain in the background, you know? But then also the fact he's broken it down into step-by-step instructions. I mean, this is so easy to understand, and it's brilliant. I mean, I'm not yapping yet. I've actually found this interesting. I went karting today, and this is my second favorite section. People, who are very, very advanced like myself, incredibly skilled drivers, if you know what I mean. Advanced techniques. He hasn't just let us there. He hasn't just left it there and said, here's the beginner stuff. He's actually gone and given us some advanced techniques for the rain. And then I love this bit. When me and you spoke during our little 19-0 thrashing of yourself.
The 1v1, huh?
It was a 1v1 that went terribly well for you. And listen, we're going to have to do another one outdoors. We know this.
We have to do that properly.
I need to come to Qatar. But as we were saying, networking, it's so key. And there's an entire kind of page on it, I think, isn't there? Networking. Here we go, networking. If you can go and talk to drivers at your track, it helps you out more than you ever know. You could be new at the track. The first thing I do when I go into a track, I say, hello, mate. I have a bit of experience in karting, but how can I get good at this track quickly? And usually the marshals go and tell you that. And that's a really good tip. Even if it's not in there, I need to find out. I need to read all the contents here.
Let's just pause it right there. We got Kaio in the chat saying, how much will this be? This is a free ebook download.
Completely free.
Put the link in the chat now for you so you can download it. Yeah, have a read through.
It is free. And yes, I still need to change my title to that because otherwise it's going to be clickbaiting. So let me do that in a second. feedback, things you can improve on.
Yes,
need-
please. Yes,
We
please.
need a part 3.
Oh, you want more?
No, I want more, but let me explain why.
Mm.
I think we need a part 3 for those who think that they actually know what they're on about.
Ah,
Like myself, the wafflers like myself, that will say, I already know all this, and I want you to go into it. I mean, by all means, I'm not saying it needs to be as long as this, but this covers everything that you need to do from beginners to intermediate to advanced. But for those kind of, that upper echelon, the extra advanced, the extreme karters in this world, we need an advanced section. We need a KTips handbook part 3. And until that drops, I shall not rest. I
There
shall
we
not
go.
sleep okay at night.
the pressure is on then to make that
No.
as the next project. You know,
That's amazing.
the feedback is really, really good. You can stop sharing because I'll share it from my
Yeah,
side.
yeah.
I want to address a couple of things.
It's not
We've
waffling.
got
Yeah.
some
If there's anything you think,
comments in the chat as well. Now,
yeah.
the main thing with the second edition was to expand on the first part. You see, the first part was quite basic, and I realized that there's a lot of gaps in terms of what's on the channel and what's in the book. So basically, the channel is up to more than 200 videos now. So to go 200 videos, and then I said, how can we compound this into key topics? So we got the 10 key topics, from how to start karting to the technical stuff, from racing line to braking, and then of course to some things which are more specific, like weight versus speed, wet weather driving. And now what we've got is a comprehensive resource that you can just refer back to in text form, which we like to give with short paragraphs, combine that with some diagrams as well. And then, of course, to reinforce those points, you'll find there's a link at the end of each page, or every couple of pages. So you can even watch the video again. Saad in the chat. What's up, Saad?
Yo, hi.
Welcome back, Saad. You're
Thank
just
you.
saying you recognize one of your teammates. I'm trying to bring up that page right now.
Yeah, I saw him when I was reading the book.
And I'm just going to scroll to... I know where it is. There's a number of drivers. So this is
there's
Siam,
Selma
right?
or Siam. Yeah, there you go.
This is Siam, one of the few female drivers in the Owner Kart Championship. And then this is your teammate, yeah?
Yeah, this is I think Omar or Ottoman. They're twins, so I don't know.
Yeah. Well, next time we meet them,
Mhm.
they're gonna have to get this. There's gonna be people coming for their autographs. That's for sure.
Can you
Just-
go up for a bit? I saw like a photo of the MENA karting nations. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
Is it this one?
Yeah, can you zoom in a bit, please?
Sure.
I want to see you since.
This is Team Qatar. This is all of the drivers
Yeah.
who are participating,
Oh, only Team
and
Qatar.
you can see the full group photo if you just search for that on Google.
Okay.
Really appreciate the feedback from everyone, and I encourage everyone to read in your spare time. It's a lot to get through, but this is again a great resource which you can keep. We got the hardback version coming, so that's going to be perfect, not only just as a collector's item, but as a gift. Season of gifts is coming up now, so if you want to gift a friend a book, we'll have that available soon. For now, get reading, get your feedback in. We'd love to hear what you guys think of it. We're going to move on though, guys, to a bit of analysis. And before we analyze specific track, let's take some questions. Is it Rami?
Yeah, hello.
Please go ahead, Rami.
I've been karting now. Like I've been with you for lots, but like I found that your book it has lots of things that you already said in videos, and it's something that we already talk about and most people know. Okay, so maybe you should make Guy said to make a advanced version. I think
Advanced version. So that's going to be the next target now.
Yeah.
Of
We're
course.
ganging up on you now, Omar.
Yeah. The channel is specifically for beginners, but we're gonna go ahead and look into how we can make Even
Maybe
better version for the
may-
advanced drivers.
maybe we should do a joint authored one.
There we go.
Yeah.
Bounce off ideas.
Ayo, that's an idea actually. My
That's an
guy,
idea.
WhatsApp after this. Let's get talking about that.
Great suggestion, Robbie, and I've noted that down.
I have something else to say. So I've been improving my lap time so much with your analysis on the track we did last
Amazing.
week.
Yeah.
So I got the fastest lap of the day and the 4 fastest laps of the week. for this
Wow.
race.
You know why I think that's you're getting that is because you're getting lots of track time as well. So each
Yeah.
week we're going over some improvements, and you're immediately able to implement that the next time you go on. Because you're going so regularly, you have time to get into a momentum and a flow of things, and that helps
Yeah.
in karting.
Yeah, and I got a new camera to film some.
You got a
videos.
camera. Let's go. So we expect some footage soon. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to recover the SD card to put on the laptop yet.
Amazing. Amazing.
You said that you know some tracks in Lebanon. You said that you know a track called RPM, right?
Mhm.
You ever went there?
I haven't. No, many of the students I coach in Qatar are from Lebanon, and you remind me of Adam. There's a young boy. His name is Adam. Similar age to you as well, and he drives at these tracks. So he did RPM. He did pit stop, and then there's a number of other Lebanese drivers as well. Great community here. They've always
I
said
tried
that's the track.
RPM for the first time today.
Sorry,
I tried RPM for the first time today. It was
how was RPM?
so their system is kind of weird since how they distribute the speeds, like 7 horsepower. You have to be like 12.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I found out like pit stop they can give you RT8s and like you're still 8 years old. So I found pit stop was way better, but like the track overall is such a nice track.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
Keep up the practice, and looking forward for you submitting some footage. Yeah, Rami.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Rami, for
Thank you.
joining in.
Thank you.
You can stay on the live call, or you can follow on the live stream.
Of course.
Guys, we're gonna go ahead to Andre. And Andre, I'm gonna bring up your footage in the background. Before we actually get into the analysis part, we just got a couple of questions I'll just take. We got Fly on Instagram asking, how do I join? Go to the KTips website, click join the free academy, and I'll admit you in. This is free to join this discussion. And Marcel just mentioning the stream is being disturbed by ads. Let me look into that, Marcel. Let me know if it keeps on occurring. I might have to change a setting or something, but that should be happening. Andre, take the floor.
Right. Actually, I think what would be very interesting is the first thing that I sent to you, which is the satellite view of the circuit. This is the thing I'm
Sure.
most interested about, because you can clearly see the lines. It's very impressive. And I wanted to just analyze the aerial view. If you want, we can also look at the video, but I don't think it gives such
Absolutely.
a good overview as the Google Maps, the satellite view for that. And I think I pasted the link in the school thread.
I'm just going to put entire screen. Sebastian, you have something urgent? We'll come to you.
Yeah, I just
What's up,
wanted
Sebastian?
to say that I'm gonna have some footage on Saturday. I think you can look up the track, but
Amazing.
I wonder when if I'll get a review Saturday. Next Saturday.
Keep me posted. If you have footage, be sure to share it. If not, maybe the end of today's session, we can just go over some footage online. Yeah, we can find something.
Okay.
Thanks, Sebastian. This is the track then, Andre.
Yeah, this is a track. And what's special about this is that it's the most popular owner kart track. So
Wow.
most people here are owner kart, but they also have rentals, and I do rentals.
Yeah.
But because it's owner cars, like the rubber on the track is very impressive. With the rental, if you stay on those black lines, you have amazing grip. And the moment you go just like half a centimeter off, you are just spinning out. So
okay.
I have a few questions here. Mainly, how do you think about lines? Like, what is your approach? And second, why are the lines thicker at the end than on the entry? Like, why is that happen? Like every single one, you see, it starts thin, and then on the actual exit, it's much thicker. Are those people doing something special, like power steering or something like that? Like even that one, you see how much thicker it is at the end.
That's a great question. Honestly, with owner kart tracks, the kind of tires they use discard a lot more rubber. So generally in the corners, you're going to see a lot of these marks. Now, in terms of why the entry and exits might look different, personally, I'd say, just based on other tracks as well in the world, it's the apex, the middle of the corner, which will be some of the darkest. That's where there's most load on the tires, most contact with the track. The track gets most rubbered in like that. And it, of course, track to track, the characteristics change. So perhaps there's just more contact through, let's say, the exit of the corner with your tires here. Depends on how it handles. How often do they run these owner kart? Is it every day?
I'm not sure. Like this is not my local track. I only been there once.
The time that you drive on the track would be amazing to experiment. Let's say you do, because normally tracks will do one owner kart session, 15-minute break for rental, then they put the next batch of owners on. And when you can go within those guys, and they're obviously heating up the track, they're putting the rubber down as well, compared to a day where it's just rentals or just owners, you'll see a difference in grip, which will then in fact affect the timing itself. What is the best conditions that you've driven in here? Was it
very
during
hot.
public only? Okay.
So I think that they're not that organized. So there were a lot of cars, but they were working on them or something. So they were not actually running them. So it was just me with the rentals. But I expect they've been there before I joined or something.
Yeah. And you have said that there's a couple of corners where the line then itself, you were experimenting.
Yeah, so the one that I actually wanted, if you wanted to discuss just one, is more on the bottom, is that double hairpin. So after the spur, the one on the top. That one? Yeah. So I have a question about that one. You can see how it's much darker, like it goes very much on the outside. You don't actually need, especially with rental, so not this particular one, the one on the top, the one just before that one, those two. You don't actually need to make it this wide.
Okay.
So I can actually take the first apex, then keep it straight to go to the second apex, and then take the second apex. But I must go just because the rubber is on the outside, so I have to go there if I want the maximum grip. How do you think about that? Like, should I?
Number of factors.
Yeah.
Number one is about the cart. So generally in rentals, is it a good cart you got, which is like one of the best at the track? Normally the mechanics can arrange that for you. Is it an average one? Generally on the straights, you can tell. Or is it a slow one where the engine is always just bogging down in the corners? The revs take time to build up. So slow to even medium speed karts, I'd stay away from these excessive wide lines and things, because that counts as wasting meters. Moment you start having more power, more speed, then it will benefit you to use that speed by taking a wider line and actually gain a bit more. So basically, faster the kart, wider the line or more track you use, slower the kart, tighter you go. Depending, of course, where the grip is. You can take a slow kart and go really tight. But if there's no grip over here and you find yourself sliding, then it's better you just go for a wider line and take those extra meters, just because you're not going to be sliding as much. What did you experience, I guess, session to session? Is it different karts you take each time?
I actually tried to stay with it. They allowed me to keep the same kart every single time. And that to me is better because one of the variables is out of the equation.
Interesting. So
yeah, go ahead.
what did you, based on the last time you went to the track, was it an average kart, a good kart?
I think it felt like a very good kart. It felt like I had a lot of grip. I'm not sure about top speed. It's very hard for me to feel those things. But you see how clearly, even from the track, you can see the tire marks.
That's incredible. Let's just try and bump up the quality as well. This looks like a beautiful day as well.
Yeah, it was very hot. very hot too. They say that engines are not liking it when it's this hot, but in
How
my
many
experience, I
degrees
always
Celsius you reckon?
31 to 32 Celsius.
Wow, that's a fair amount, especially for Eastern Europe, right? That's quite hot.
Yeah. And you see how I washed out, like I washed white there just because I didn't stay on the black line. Like at the moment I'm a bit off, it just pushes me away.
Where was
So,
the
I-
best lap across the session?
I can't remember. I have to check. Maybe lap. Give me 1 second.
16.2, 16.1. You're very consistent. 16.0, 15.8. I think it's your 15.2. Wow, you really got it down on this last lap.
Yeah.
Let's just
so-
watch last lap.
And I think 15.2. Yeah, I think 15.2 is 0.6 from 0.6 away from the track record.
It's a very long lap. I mean, 1 minute 15 in rentals is huge. How many kilometers is your track? More than a kilometer, right?
Yeah, it's more than a kilometer. I think it's 1.1 or 1.2.
Was this evening that you went, or sort of mid-afternoon?
Very much lunchtime, so noon, 1 p.m. something like that.
You were maybe one of the first on track, you'd say.
I think the owner cards went earlier or something, but I can't tell.
Mm-hmm.
I was the only one on track because it was so hot.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to.
And that will, if there was a fleet of, how many can they take up to this track?
I don't know. For rentals, I think I saw parked there like 15 or 20.
Yeah. If you have 15 or 20, the timing's easily half a second, just because people are, laying more rubber down. There's more grip on track within the 8 laps that you do in the session. You go through. Let's rewind to how you took the hairpins on this occasion. We just passed the hairpins, right?
Yeah, we passed them by now. This is the back
Let's
straight.
get back. I just want to observe the kind of line. Just guide me where the hairpins are exactly. Are we approaching now?
Just do more the beginning of the lap maybe. We already passed, I think. There we go. So this is the small hairpin.
Okay.
Okay, and after this right-hander, this is now the double hairpin. Well, the double right. So you'll go here, and if I don't go wide, I could go much tighter, but then I'm not on the black line anymore, and this is the other one.
So that's the double hairpin we were observing overhead.
Yeah, the two of them. Yeah.
Gotcha. Let's just share the screen real quick. When you look at it in real life, it's interesting because track width is very important in this case. And this is the best lap that you did. If we take the hairpins in isolation, let's say this is what you were doing differently. So first portion, second portion. Interesting. And what's your thinking behind this? What are you trying to achieve in terms of your line and things?
Like honestly, I was just trying to stay with my outer tires on the black marks. That's the only thing, because I could make it much tighter if I wanted to, but I was not sure if it's a good idea to make it tighter.
So for the first part, it's a brief lift, I assume, or even a tap of the brake.
I think it's a brief lift.
Brief lift.
I have
Back
to
on the
check.
gas.
Oh yeah, I remember what I did here. I'm
Yeah.
basically like, this is another trick I discovered. You have to tell me if it's a good trick or not.
Mhm.
I'm actually pumping the acceleration. So instead of
Yeah, I
fully
noticed.
lifting, I'm just pumping. Like,
so if you watch your foot on the over here, lift, pump, lift, release, lift, pressure,
Yep.
lift. So release, pressure, release,
Yep.
pressure. It'll depend cart to cart. Some carts don't like that. They'll react negatively. The engine will it's called flooding the engine with revs when you do that kind of technique with some carts. Honestly, especially in these SODIs, I just try to be more consistent with the throttle application. So I lift early, and then the rest of the time now, I'll just be feeding the gas. If I feel it's too much gas, then I'll progressively apply more and more pressure. So I'll go 50, 60, 70%, rather than get to 100% too quickly, then release, and then back on gas. And so what I like to do is sacrifice time early. I'd brake similar, I'd lift similar to where you are. I'd probably even lift slightly earlier, but then commit to being pretty much 100% gas at the apex. That's very important. When it comes to keeping revs high, are you 100% at the gas at the apex? If you're still reapplying throttle over here, then compared to a driver who's accelerating sooner, you're most likely going to lose on the exit. That's just how it works in rentals. It's about who can carry more momentum and acceleration out the turn. It's interesting. So you basically take a close apex, then the second part or middle part, go out wide onto the grippy portion. You can see the darker patch difference. And then, is this second part flat?
Yeah,
This
so
right
I'm
Perfect.
keeping the revs high, the acceleration high. So I'm just pumping it at the beginning. I was lifting before, but this is why I got such a good time here. I was just pumping, so this is what I think helped.
I assume you're leaning over here as well, somewhat.
Could be, can't recall.
I definitely encourage a bit of leaning over here, just to almost flick the cart to the right. The corner tightens up on exit. As the corner exits now, are you trying to take the shortest path, or sort of stay slightly wide and open up the next corner?
And again, I'm trying to stick to the black line again. To do that, I'm shortening it, but then I'm opening it right at the end.
Yeah, because it becomes a bit too tight then. I think this is good, and it's flat. Just by taking it slightly wide, you're going flat.
I'm also pumping. I think I'm also pumping here because
bit of bumping,
otherwise I'm washing wide here just before the straight line, and that's like I would carry way too much speed otherwise.
Yeah, gotcha. It's very interesting. Have you experimented only lifting, let's say early lifting, whether it was over here, and avoiding pumping the accelerator totally? Have you tried something like that?
Maybe in one of my slower laps, yeah. But it didn't feel as fast.
What I would say is smooth is fast on this track because it's wide. It's about keeping your momentum high. Now, you should actually try. Let's dedicate 4 laps pumping, and the next 4 laps lifting only. Obviously, the kart stays the same. Track conditions will relatively be the same as well. You're the only one out on track. That'll be quite interesting to observe. Aside from that, in terms of how much of the track you're using, I think it's good on entry. Number one, you're getting maximum entry speed by coming wide. You're not limiting yourself. Line over here looks good because you take a mid apex, you come out slightly wide. I guess this is a nice reference, the darker patch. Do you feel the grip difference, like the kart is more planted on the darker patch?
Yeah, it's day and night. As you say, I'm going wide. I don't like that I'm going wide. I would like to stay so much tighter.
Yeah.
But it's day and night difference if I'm going wide.
I'd keep this up. I think you're doing this really well. And you're getting a nice exit out of it. Yeah. This is one thing you can experiment. What's happening here? You're going flat through the first portion. So if you just watch your right foot, this lap in isolation once again, you're flat until boom, just after the first apex. Now you're lifting. Then you're doing that pumping technique.
Yeah. I think I pumped twice up to that point, so I didn't quite lift.
Gotcha. It's more a pump. What I would encourage is why not get some lifting done early over here now, and then get all the rest of this flat. So your speed is going to be low on entry, but then you build it back up by keeping your foot pinned to the floor through the first part and the second part. Also, it's a very, very small thing. I don't know if you can tell due to the color surface, but it just looks like there's a bit more grip over here, maybe 1 kart length to your right. So think about maybe skipping the first apex, not paying too much attention to go too close here. We can afford to go slightly wider on that grippy stuff. I don't know if you can tell. Can you tell that?
Yeah. Looks like they skipped the corner. Apex, I didn't notice. Yeah, you're right.
it's an interesting line. They're actually setting up to do a net late apex. So they'll stay a kart length to the right over here on the darker patch, but then you can see the darker patch cuts across to the second apex over here really nicely.
Mhm.
And then, of course, back out wide. That will probably be something worth experimenting in the next session, seeing how
Okay.
that goes.
I'll try that. And I have two questions about
Yes.
this. First, you mentioned lifting earlier. One
Mm.
thing I'm trying to do is, if I'm lifting, I want to use that lift for something else as well. Usually it helps me more with the turning, because
Yes,
I'm
that's it.
carrying more weight on the front tires. I
Mhm.
have better steering, like less understeer.
Yeah.
If I lift early, I don't have to turn yet, so I'm wasting an opportunity. Is that okay?
What you'll then do is transition to an extremely oversteery style. So what's going to happen is you turn in early, and instead of your steering wheel facing to the right, this is how you normally go. This time, you're actually fighting almost a mini slide.
Mhm.
It goes back to this thing of slip angle. So slip angle
Mhm.
is achieving, almost a slide where we're not dipping momentum, but the idea is that's all done early in the corner. We're basically counter steering before the apex. So that's achieved by sharp early turn. I'd say in this case, you'd already be counter steering. And
Oh,
what
okay.
that does, what that does is eventually allow you to meet up to the apex at that point. So rather than being smooth and progressively turning to the right, here will actually be on the limit of grip, almost drifting.
Mhm.
And it's such a sensitive technique, because if you overdo it, you're losing time automatically. You're drifting, you're losing reps. If you get the sweet spot, you'll almost be gliding through the corner. It's a very satisfying feel you get. So
Mhm.
it's simply gauged by your steering. How much are you counter steering? So here I know you're pretty much under the limit of grip, right?
Mhm.
If you're
Yeah.
over the limit of grip, or just over it, you'd actually be counter steering a little.
Mhm.
And you can achieve that just by sharp initial turning, get the kart to step out a little, and then control that slide throughout.
I actually used that technique on a different track, and I gained
Mm.
from 86th track overall to 14. So very
Wow.
huge
Indoor,
improvement. Outdoor.
Mhm.
So I didn't do it at this one just because there was so much grip, but I did at the other one. And question,
That's
question.
This is a great point. Just before you go into your question, grip will affect that. So
Yeah.
if it's extremely high grip conditions and you try and do that slip angle technique where you get the kart to slide, you'll get that juddering, that bouncing. So it's better to be smooth.
I
But
see. Okay.
that's honestly with extreme high grip conditions. I mean, personally, I haven't driven at this track on these conditions. I wouldn't tell. But if you're saying it's very grippy, then the only way to see the difference is try to be more aggressive on the grippy line and see if it shakes or not. If the kart shakes, that's going to slow you down. So revert back to smooth steering inputs like you're doing, and even tail braking into some of the corners.
And when you say that, you mean like jumping like a kangaroo? That's like I'm
That's
actually losing contact with the.
Yeah,
Okay.
with the track.
Yeah. So that happens sometimes when it's very grippy. You're right, and I didn't know why it's happening.
High
Okay.
grip, revert back to almost a car racing technique where you're very smooth and you're not trying to slide. There's no
And then,
counter here.
in order to induce that, you're saying like sharp, let's say it's a sharp right, and then you induce the oversteer, and then you keep you counter steer a bit. If I'm already carrying a lot of speed, that sharp right doesn't usually initiate it. I usually have to hit the brake or something to lock the tires a bit, and then I can do that. Is that wrong?
What do you mean is wrong?
So I'm trying to do the technique that you're saying, where I'm initiating a sharp turn and then I'm counter steering for I'm kind of like gliding through it. But if I'm just coming after a long straight and I'm already having a lot of speed, and let's say that corner usually wouldn't take braking that much. The only way I can initiate a turn
Yeah.
as a counter steer is if I hit the brake and I lock the rear tires a little bit.
Yeah, you see, with longer straights, because you carry more speed, then the whole idea of hard braking and getting rotation becomes more risky. So what you'll be inclined to do there is actually lock the tires too much and then go spinning.
Mhm.
So you've got to revert back to a more progressive braking technique. So not necessarily trail brake where you're going all the way to the apex. Let's say we're pressing the brakes for longer than we would do on a lower speed corner where we can be very hard but short on the brakes. So I'd still say on those long straights, be hard with your initial pressure, but be more progressive with coming off, as opposed to extremely hard on the brakes and come off immediately.
Oh, interesting. And
Because
the fact
that's-
that I'm
yeah.
lifting slower, what will it help with?
Stabilizing the rear so that you're not going to get too
Oh, okay.
much movement. Yeah.
Interesting.
So the idea is, harder you press the brakes and the shorter you do that, the more kick you're going to get. So it's the kart steps out, right? You're locking those rear tires.
Mhm.
So on a long straight, it's risky to do that because the moment it locks too much, then you've gone beyond the point of control. So it's going to lock and then the kart just takes over. You're going to go spinning off. It's difficult to save it, really. And the only way to save it is then to just be very sensitive with brake coming off the brakes.
I see. And tangent, does that apply on rain as well?
In the rain, I would do cadence braking. So cadence braking is the pumping of the brake, and human ABS, as we call it,
Mhm.
which is it's a really satisfying technique you can get into, and especially compared to other drivers who are quite cautious in the wet. If you can
Got
be
it.
confident with your braking in the wet by pumping, you'll gain a lot of time. It's almost a game changer.
Interesting. And then I don't ease off the brake. I'm gonna pump it
Yeah.
and then release it immediately.
Just like you're doing with the gas
Okay.
in that case, basically the same thing.
And then in conclusion, you're saying that pumping the gas usually not a good idea.
Yeah, I'd just say kart to kart, it'll depend. Most times you do that in rentals, it upsets the engine. It floods the engine with rev. So just by pumping, you're not doing anything actually. You might just be keeping the same speed. You might even be limiting the exit speed. When you're more progressive and constant with the gas, it has time to build up speed quickly.
Okay.
I think that was a great couple of questions you had, because that's very much in depth. You're now taking your driving to the next level.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I'm thinking like at the beginning when I was joining this, I was getting a lot out of just you reviewing my videos. Now I kind of know that, but I have so many questions. I'm very thankful that you actually took the time to answer my questions. Thank you very much.
No, it's always a pleasure. And if you ever have any questions, you're welcome to come on Track Help, share some footage, track diagram. It's always great to discuss it and come up with new strategies for you to improve.
Yeah, and by the way, my improvement this year has been huge, all thanks to you. So thank you very much.
It's my pleasure, and there's more to come. Keep it up, Andre. Was there anything else you wanted to cover before we go on to the next driver?
Oh, I don't want to take the entire session. There's always questions. I'm gonna join the next session and I ask more. So get
The
their
live
videos as
meet,
well, because I
or
think
you
it's
can watch
helping
on the
everybody.
live
But
stream.
yeah, thank you very much, Omar. I appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. We're going to go ahead to some comments in the live stream. Let's take a quick break. Guys, if you want to join this discussion, click the link or go to the KTips website. You can join the Academy for free, just to give you an overview. Once you send a request to join, you'll then come to the landing page. The landing page in the Academy has a couple of things. For example, we have pinned posts. In the pinned posts, specifically for this week's track help, you can submit some footage, for example, like Andre did, like Hassan did, or you can put a track diagram like Noor did or Suad did. Great chance to also introduce yourself. There's more than 150 comments over here, people from all around the world just explaining where they drive, what sorts of carts they drive in, and what experiences they have. And then just general questions. Some people need help with the chicane. Somebody is asking how to brake in the wet. Post your wins. People posting about how they beat their personal record. So there's lots to engage over here in the academy. You're basically part of a global karting community. So it's a great way to connect with other drivers. Click the link in the pinned comment, or just go to the KTips website. I'll be able to admit you like that. Going to move on to a couple of drivers who've joined. Can you hear me, Harry?
Oh, sorry. I think my internet just kind of lagged out for a second.
How have you been,
No,
Harry?
I think
Good.
Omar did break up.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I
Super.
was.
Is it all good? Can
looking-
you hear me?
Yeah, I think you lagged out for a second there.
Sorry. I think I'm back now.
Yeah.
How have you been, Harry?
Good. I went to Club 100.
Yes, excellent. I think I'm. Is it me who's lagging?
I think so.
Just bear with me, guys. Bear with. Can you hear me, guys? Hello.
Hello. We can hear. We can hear.
Right. Let me leave and come back. Give me a second. Hello, guys. Hello. I'm back. Can you hear me?
We can hear.
We
Yeah,
can hear you.
All right. Tell me about Club 100. How did it go?
Yeah, so I drove very far. I drove 7 hours to go to the track, and so we went to Raura, which is it's like quite hidden away, but it was very good fun.
Let's take a look at where Raura is.
It's
For
up in
those who don't know,
Cumbria, near Scotland, kind of.
Scotland. Wow.
Mhm.
So if we put, that's one of the best karting tracks, I believe, in the country. So where did you start your journey from?
So down in London,
London. No way.
yeah. So across the country.
We can just put Cumbria. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at that. We've gone all the way up north. Plenty of stops on the way.
Yeah.
Wasn't direct, but was
No.
it worth the journey?
Yes, it was really good fun. I didn't do the greatest, but I think it's probably my favorite track in the UK by far.
I believe Super GT did many videos there. I remember watching.
Yeah, he did. I
lots of
think he
those.
did Miami and Rotax here with DHR.
Wow. And how was the format for this weekend? It's the same, right?
Yes, they
100
always
that
do
you're-
the 11-minute practice, the 11-minute qualifying, 11-minute pre-final, and 11-minute final. And if you look on the left, there's a helipad even. I don't
Oh,
know
yeah.
why, but there's a helipad.
You're right.
Yeah.
Normally for emergencies, you don't want too many of those.
No, but it's a great track. It's really good fun. There were many crashes, but still really like technical. And I think like a lot of tracks, like Club 100 is perfect because it's not too fast. It's not too slow. It's like perfect in between like owners and like kind of the boggy 4-stroke rentals.
And you're getting the hang of the championship now. You're a regular.
Yeah.
How's it going this season?
So all I've done is there's like one moment.
Oscar, leave your comment. I'm gonna come to it, or your question. I'm gonna come to it. Let me know if you're there, Harry.
Yeah, sorry. So, oh yeah. So there was 2 championships. So there's like the main one with like a lot of like the faster drivers, and then there's like the experience which they brought out because like it's like very busy. So I did the experience. I did some good driving there, but it wasn't as competitive as like the main championship. So the main championship I only done 1 round, and that. And I was just like the top of the C, so kind of like near the middle, sort of.
Okay.
So it was good fun, good racing actually.
Yeah.
I did get footage, but I'm just uploading it now. It's 50%, so maybe
No
we'll
worries.
have a look at it later.
No worries. Let's try and go through that after. Keep me posted on that. Just share a link if available. I'm gonna come back to you, Harry. I'm gonna go to TGX. What's up? What's up, TGX?
Hello, it's Addy, by the way.
That's it. How are you, Adi?
Yeah, I'm good. You?
Very well, thank you. How have you been?
I've been alright. No racing so far though. Just
Yeah,
been
we
at home.
were watching your footage from fill me in. Was it Hooten
Forest
Park?
Edge.
No, Forest Edge. Forest Edge.
Yeah.
Is it because the next race is in a couple of weeks?
Yeah.
You've been out of,
I've also got a race this weekend. Well, next weekend.
All right.
On the 28th, I'm doing Blackbush.
Blackbush.
Because
Wow.
I'm getting my kart straightened because it got a bit bent last Forest Edge round.
Right.
But I'm gonna do Blackbush. It's like a small local track, so I'm not too far from it.
Let's take a look at that. Actually,
I don't really have any videos of it, unfortunately, but you can probably look up a hot lap.
is this it?
Yeah.
Wow, what a layout!
Yeah, it's
Not very technical.
it's really physical. Like it doesn't look it, but because there's like a massive altitude difference every lap. Like
right.
see the bus stop, because
Yeah.
we don't take straight. The gearbox takes straight. We go to the bus stop
Through
and,
here.
yeah, through there. Because turn 1 is really cambered and it's like an uphill.
Oh, okay.
So like the whole top part of the track on the map, at least, is completely like flat, and then the bottom half is like raised a lot more.
Yeah.
And then you see that, like, I don't know how to explain. You know how it's like a boot on the top left?
Yeah. Over
Just
here.
before that little small straight thing, it's like a really steep downhill. Like it doesn't look it, but it's really
okay.
like it batters you. But yeah, I'm going there next week. Hopefully, I mean it's looking dry. For now.
I reckon we can get a quick onboard clip because that sounds fascinating.
Oh yeah, it really is. Really, like it's quite tight. I'd probably look up Camberley Kart Club as well. It's like a different name for it.
Camberley Kart Club. Okay.
Yeah.
This looks like it's an owner.
Yeah.
Let me just.
They don't do rentals. So.
They don't do rentals. I was gonna say. It's just.
It's a nice, little local track. Like the racing's like everyone's really friendly. It's racing. It's good racing. There's no like. Because Forest Edge is a bit more of a everyone hitting each other off track.
Bumper cars.
Yeah.
All right, this is that. Whoa. That just
turn 1 is a really late break. Like
yeah, and it's tight.
It really is. The lines are a bit off.
This driver's not pushing. He's actually intermediate or beginner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. It goes downhill here. Wow.
If you can sort of see it, like if you pause for a minute, you can see on the right how much more raised up it is.
Here?
No, the other side of the track, basically. Like from the bus stop, look on the right side.
Yeah.
See how it's all the green, and then it's like at the very top. There's the track.
Correct. Yes. Exactly. Yeah.
So it's like a lot higher up, basically.
So you can take the bus stop, and then you got turn 1, which is going to be. Don't anyone go in the trees. That one.
Yeah, but since then they've kind of like changed. Like they don't like anyone hitting the curbs. But like
Okay.
curbs here, like to go fast, you have to fly over them. Like usually it's like sort of like say spark going over sausage. So it's like pretty much four wheeling it.
Have you ever driven here before?
Yeah, I was pretty much started here actually in my road tax.
Home track.
Practice, yeah. It's not
Nice.
too far as well. It's about 20 minutes. I'll tell you what, I actually think I might have a couple there. I might have video of a practice.
Yeah,
See if
yeah,
I can get it for you.
amazing, amazing. So you're
It's,
familiar with this?
Yeah, I'm familiar. It's my home track. I like it.
How many
like-
braking points?
I need to count them. Like, hang on. 1, 2, 3 break points.
3 braking points.
It's not a lot, but it's really fun because it's like you put a relatively high sprocket on. It's more like just out the corners. Like
Yeah.
at the end of the Hay Main Straight, I hit about like 60, but like the lowest
Wow.
I hit is like it's like maybe 20, 30. It's
Right,
all about
right.
out the corners here, like because at the end of the straight you should be on the limiter.
Mm.
Yeah, because you have to prioritize your acceleration out of every corner, otherwise you just get sent pretty much.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to look for some now. I'm trying to look for some videos.
No worries. I'll let you look for that. Right.
All right.
And I'm gonna move on to Hassan and Saad.
Yeah.
Let me
cool.
know once you find the clip. Just
All
share
right.
a link to it. Saad, how have you
Hey,
been?
I've been
Been a
doing
long
well.
time.
How are you?
Long time
Yeah.
since you joined. I saw you put a post about 13-hour endurance race you recently completed.
Yeah, I just finished it yesterday night, actually.
Wow, how was that?
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
It was great. I have bruises everywhere. Yeah, it's this Portuguese people who organized it here.
Uh-huh.
They're like world-class drivers.
Yeah.
And they came and it was pretty fun actually. But the thing is we switched the track direction in the middle of the race.
What?
Yeah, so they made everybody box for 5 minutes.
Yeah,
And then instead of going straight after the exit, you take a right and you just go back
Wow.
the other way.
That's first time I've heard that's ever happened.
Yeah, I mean, you
And
can
which
see
track
that
was that?
it's my home track. It's VGK.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I know that track. Let me try and bring it up as well. How did How did your team do in the race?
We were doing pretty well. So I was the second fastest in my teammates. We were all between a tenth from each other. But then I had a friend that was 1 second and a half slower.
So you had to do the strategy accordingly, right?
Yeah. So most of us drove, and then he drove like the least amount, but he wasn't mad about it.
Took one for the team.
Yeah, I took one for the team.
Yeah, you have to. That's what happens in endurance racing, especially if you want to go for a result. You have to make a team decision. Then look, guys, if we want to get,
I messed up the strategy, so we were gonna finish the race with one more pit stop, but then I managed to save it, and we finished the race with only 29 seconds before going over the stint time.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that's endurance racing is half strategy.
Yeah, I know,
and it's very punishing when you make it towards the end and then something like that goes wrong. It's
I mean, my teammate for the 5-minute pit stop, he went 6 seconds before. We got a minute penalty because of it.
Yeah.
So
Tell me
it's all of that.
You know what you got to write those things down that went wrong in this race, and then for next time you just make sure. All right, pit stops. Doesn't matter if it's extra 5 seconds we got to wait, or make sure we're timing it correctly. What other things happen?
To be honest, we started 5th. My teammate got it was a Le Mans start.
Do you have footage of it?
I have just some pictures. That's basically all I have.
I'll
Some exterior
put
pictures
in the background whilst you explain.
Yeah, sure. Do you want me to put them?
Yeah, go for it. Since you probably know the best ones.
I just have like a folder I can put everything.
Yeah.
Right here.
I think you can even share your screen if you want.
Yeah, well, just wait a second.
Oscar, I'm going to come to your questions. Those are some great ones you're putting in about wet weather driving.
All right, so I don't know if you can see this.
Yeah, got it.
All right, so this is just me, my friends, just taking pictures with the camera.
Amazing! Wow.
Yeah, this is my friend driving. Let's see this. This is the opposite way.
Right. Okay. How was in reverse? Have you ever done
Yeah.
reverse?
So the races I usually do here, they do sometimes in reverse and sometimes in normal way, but we never did this track layout in
Okay.
opposite because they added the chicane.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this is my friends taking pictures.
Amazing. Nice memories.
Mm-hmm.
You can look back on that.
This is look, I'll start. Look, so running.
Wow.
I have a better picture. Yeah, this is the start. Tack. And my friend gave him such a good push.
Yeah.
Look, he's in the middle of the track, still pushing him. And we actually overtake, and then we finish the lap. We're first.
Amazing. Okay.
Look, we're
Good
in
stuff.
the lead right now. So that's us.
That's awesome. How many hours each driver did?
You can only do 1 hour per stint, but you can do double stints. So
Yeah. So you got to
I think
refuel basically.
they refuel the cart. Like basically you go into the pits,
Mhm.
and then you draw a cart. They have like 4 carts. You draw a cart,
Wow. Okay.
and then you go, and then there's a screen before the pit exit, and you just have to wait before 3 minutes,
Okay.
and then you gotta go. So this is me driving with the white helmet.
Amazing. Have
Yeah.
you changed your suit?
No, I've always had this
You've
one.
always had this thing. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm thinking you had a difference. That's awesome.
So yeah, I just got a new visor. That's it.
Ah, the visor. Okay.
So it's just my friends. You saw this guy. This guy was with you in Mina.
Yeah. What's his name again?
Mehdi.
Mahdi. Yeah, Mahdi.
Yeah.
Mahdi's. Has he been cutting? He looks like he's lost weight.
No, he's always been like this.
He's always been like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's naturally, I think, 80 or 75. Quite tall.
I think even less, like 70.
Is it 70? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I remember we were adding similar amounts of ballast for
Mm.
that competition. Yeah, he's a good driver.
Yeah, this is my friend. He does F4
Wow.
in
wow.
the US.
What's his name?
Zach Forey. He's just gonna start in like next month. He's
Awesome.
gonna start.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And he might do a Clio Cup in Europe, which is fun.
Mm-hmm.
So I just got a bunch of like.
These are some
pictures.
really nice photos. And you started at what time and finished at what time? The race.
I had to be there at 7, but we started the race at 10:30, and we ended at 11:30 p.m.
Okay.
So yeah,
And this is the longest endurance you've done.
I've done it 24 hours, but only half because
Okay.
I DNF'd.
So technically, this was 13 hours, so a bit more than.
Yeah, a bit more
Last
than
time.
my last race.
Yeah,
This
slowly
is me
building up.
doing these are a lifesaver, having headphones in for comms.
Ah, okay. And what do you use?
Absolute lifesaver.
Like a phone call or?
Yeah, I just put my phone in my inside shorts.
Yep.
And then we have a Discord server. Because
That's
it's
amazing.
because it's easier to
yeah.
just like
Exactly.
put people in different channels and everything.
Yeah, look at that. That is awesome. Come on, that's
We
that's
just
amazing.
we have that.
Discording. I love that.
And a moment, I just finished my stints, and my friend goes out.
Yeah.
And then my other teammate says, "Come, he wants to talk to you."
Yeah.
I put my phone on, and he just starts singing to me like random things. It's pretty fun.
That's part of the fun of it.
Yeah, this is the normal pit exit, and
Okay.
then the reverse way, you turn the right, and then you go back.
Ah, right.
You would turn here, and you go back.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty fun. This is actually a 2-stroke driver that was doing the race.
Okay, so it's very competitive.
Yeah, Red Bull car.
Red Bull car. Yep, love a bit of Red Bull.
Yeah, it's a fun. I mean, I like the track and everything. A moment, you see this driver right here.
Mm-hmm.
He had a incredible top speed, like so much so I thought he was underweight.
Oh, okay.
He would just fly into the distance, but he
Yeah.
does all the time in the corners. So
And that's just
he
because he was
put me on.
underweight, or
No, he wasn't underweight. He was
Yeah.
the minimum is 83. He came out. He was 83.1.
oh,
yeah.
on the limit.
He
And this
was pushing me on the straight. I was like, all right,
Mm.
good. And then he'd try and overtake me, but like not cleaning at all. I'll just switch back
Mhm.
and go back in front of him. So I just random hands gestures like
Yeah,
pink.
these are the vibes of endurance racing. You know, those in the pit lane.
This is the
Oh.
exit.
Amazing, amazing. And I
Yeah,
think
it
you got
was
some good
really
sunset
fun.
shots, though, right?
Yeah, I have towards the end. This is me again.
How many hours did you do of driving?
I think I did like 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
It was a
any
lot.
double stints or just one on and then break?
We had one double stint just to have, because it was 16 pit stops mandatory, so just like a 10-minute stint, and then you just go again.
Not
Like
bad.
this is like a
That's the FIFA celebration.
yeah. So yeah, this is looking at the strategy after he
Yeah,
told
that's
me
it.
like
In the
I
moment.
messed everybody up, so I had to fix it.
No, you learn like that. You'll
So
be more
yeah,
prepared next time.
yeah, I guess next time it will be
And when's
more
the next
prepared.
race that you're planning to do?
So the last round of the championship from Morocco, it's planned to be in Agadir again, but we don't know when. They generally don't know when. So
And I think a lot of people from all over the Europe come, right, to these races.
yeah. So these races, like mostly the Agadir one,
Yeah.
it's mostly French people who come and they do the race.
Yeah, yeah. I'd love to check out the karting scene in Morocco. There's lots of amazing tracks, as you've been showing us
There's
across
so
the
many.
months.
Just the annoying thing, most of them are private tracks, and there's like I don't know how to get into them. That's why.
So it's not the typical rental car and things like that.
No, the rental ones I know. There's my home track. There's Agadir. And there's 2 in Marrakesh.
And Morocco's a big place, right?
Yeah, Morocco's huge, but most of the south is just desert, so there isn't that much things.
Okay, noted. So they're within traveling.
The furthest I've ever done is Agadir. It's a 5-hour car ride.
5 hours, okay.
Yeah. Or just like an hour on a plane if you take a plane.
Right, you can even take a plane. That's amazing. Keep me posted how it goes, Saad. It was amazing
of course.
for you to share some of your experience again.
I hope I see you at the end of the year in Qatar.
Yeah, what's the plan for Morocco?
They still haven't chosen the team yet.
How do they do that generally every year? Is it just luck or
based on the standings?
The standings, okay.
Yeah.
Are you in contention?
I'm 4th, and
Amazing.
the guy first is like 50 years old, so I have some luck in getting in it.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah.
And I guess they'd probably what would you do? Junior, senior, RD1?
I don't know. What's the age for senior again?
Senior, they'll take you on from 15 and above. Maybe 14 if there's an exception.
I don't know. I have no clue. But probably not owner, like not the BRL, the other guys were.
The RD1, yeah, the one that Mahdi did. Mahdi, Ilyas, a few
that's the one I'm probably gonna do.
Yeah, definitely. And that's easy to transition to because honestly, the karts are just a little bit more powerful than the normal rentals. But the track is not high speed in owners. It's very technical actually. There's only 2 long straights and then the rest is just
I saw a bunch of videos.
Yeah, you start memorizing. There's plenty of videos from KTips you can check with the sale track. And of course the live stream from last year. If you watch the live stream, that's beautiful.
Yeah, I was in the middle of classes and I was watching the stream.
Oh, that's awesome. That's the way. That's the way to do it. So hopefully you're gonna join us this year, inshallah.
Yeah, I hope so. So yeah.
It's been a pleasure, Saad.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm gonna move on to the next driver. You can stay on the live meet or you can follow on the live stream.
All right.
Take care, Saad. Send my regards to Mahdi and the others.
All right. Ciao, ciao.
Take care. I'm going to quickly address Oscar's question. Oscar, if you're still in the stream. Oscar said, I was racing in the wet today with heavy rain and very slippery, but when the rain stopped, it started to dry up and the track was even more slippery. Why is that? I was told that the rubber from the tires released a lot of oil, which made it slippery. True. We were racing in a thunderstorm, and I'm surprised they didn't red flag the race. It was 3 hours. Okay, thanks. So yeah, that will definitely have a play a factor. Again, the rubber on the track will release oils, and then it makes the track conditions unpredictable. So in the wet, it's a constant drying line that you're going to come across. And the dry line will generally revert back to the normal racing line eventually. But, sector 1, might be a bit more wet than sector 3. So you take the wet line in sector 3. Sector 2, maybe first couple of corners, you can take the normal line, but then you got to do a wide line for one of the corners. It's just constantly about finding the grip in the wet. And it's literally corner to corner, every meter of tarmac at a time. You've got to be observant. And that is why wet racing is all about the driver. To be very honest. It's about who is brave, number one, to push the limits, who can find the limits, and who can then get a consistent flow. So what happens in the wet is, you can find where the grip is. You can stick to that line, and then suddenly you make a mistake, you can go swimming. So spinning, not swimming. Also swimming if it's a thunderstorm, as you mentioned. You always got to be on high alert in the wet. So sometimes just being a bit cautious, a bit calm, and then building up your speed like that can help. But what you experience in your race is not a unusual thing to happen. Let's go ahead to Hassan. Hassan, you've been very patient.
Yep.
Welcome back, Hassan.
Thank you.
How have you been?
I've been good.
There's a lot more drivers who are coming from race hall onto the academy. I reckon you're
really?
referring. Yeah, I think you're referring.
Wait, I was wondering, do you know the names?
I'm gonna try and find that for you now, because somebody joined.
Yeah, that's I was also over there here today, and it was very interesting. So I tried to upload the video, but my GoPro, I had some problems with my GoPro.
Yeah.
So so it uploaded the wrong video.
So is this the correct one? I'm
no,
looking at?
this is no, the correct one is not there. So it's just gonna be this one. And next
All
week
right.
I have a Grand Prix.
Oh, amazing.
From 7:30 in the morning to 14 p.m.
Amazing.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's in American time. If you can, isn't it? No, it's not 14 p.m. It's 2 p.m. Yeah. 2 p.m.
This is part of that championship, right?
No, this is not. This is just training. Sunday.
Okay.
No, it's actually out with my friends.
No, I'm saying next week.
Next week, yeah. But I'm not
okay.
really. I'm like at the bottom. I also have another championship via the race halls themselves, which I'm pretty sure I'm leading. Like we're really close. Like only a couple of points.
Wow.
And here on Wednesday, it's gonna decide the entire championship.
And do they stick to one layout at race hall?
Yeah, only one layout.
Okay.
If you see, it's actually a bit different. Like they've made some tweaks.
Yeah.
From some of the older videos, it's very small things, but it's the track has actually gotten a bit better. But other than that, it hasn't really been that different. So yeah, just like.
Honestly, it's a positive that they don't change the layout, because you can just focus on every single corner to make sure you're doing it perfectly. Of course, it mixes it up after and makes it more challenging when you have a new layout. But your focus right now should just be, how can I master this layout and become the best?
Yeah.
I think it's good you're doing obviously your regular training, then you're competing with other top drivers. What do you think is the difference though between the guys who are winning and then where you are now? what?
I have actually no clue. I mean, basically, what weight is one thing. For
Yeah,
example,
definitely.
some of the people that are in the championship here on Wednesday are actually in the club,
Mhm.
and comparing the times are about 1 second faster. So
And
yeah.
how much less do they weigh?
Normally, we weigh 75, but I'm at 90 kilos with all of my equipment.
See, this is the problem, especially in a track like this, which has long straights.
Yeah,
You're going to definitely lose on them, and
Yeah.
on the exit of corners as well. You probably
Yeah.
find the lighter guys just pull away.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Isn't there any, weight categories? Let's say, okay, everyone
No,
who's
but unfortunately, that's only
gotcha,
one.
gotcha,
And in the Wednesday race, it's at 85 kilograms, so it's actually more to my advantage.
gotcha. What you got to do then is do the best with what you got,
Yeah, exactly.
and carts will obviously play a big factor, like you experienced in this footage. We were watching Kart 38. It looks a bit understeery.
Uh,
How
I
was
mean,
it?
it's a long time ago. It's 20 days ago.
Oh, okay, this is
I'm not quite sure. I don't remember at all. But I can tell you a bit of the race. So I was
Yeah.
out with some of my friends. One of the people there also training there, so he's actually pretty good. He also gave me some. And the other
Yeah.
people are just traffic basically. So this right now is just qualifying.
Gotcha.
And we have been weighed up to 95 grams because my friend, he drives at 100 and I drive at 90, so we're in the middle.
Okay,
So
right.
nobody really has an advantage.
And which camera do you use, by the way? I'm fascinated.
I use a GoPro Hero 7. Yeah, I got it for. I got it
your
used.
battery life is good
Yeah,
because it lasts. I've seen 1 hour videos of yours, right, from before.
yeah. I mean, we can do 45 minutes, very good, and that's the longest session I've had. So
And that's perfect. That's what you want for your races like this.
exactly.
Have you been experimenting a new steering technique? I'm watching your hands.
I mean, I've done that for a while now.
Okay.
Where I just have my hands on the top.
Mhm.
Also, some of the drivers has also said it's better to have it on the top because before I switched my hands quite a lot, and if I have it in 3 and 9, I really have to use a lot of force.
Yeah.
So that's basically the best position for me.
How did you adapt to holding it where you are now?
What's that supposed to mean?
So how was it transitioning from how you used to do it before?
First,
until now?
the first thing was that my wrist hurt a bit.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And then only once, and then after that, it's perfectly fine. It's way better steering. I can be way more precise.
Right.
So
I always struggle with accuracy going this high up. I just feel I'm not able to position the card exactly where I want it to go. But I think it's just practice, right? Did you feel that the first time you did this?
Yeah, exactly. It's just it felt like I was driving like a grandma at first, or my some of my family members also drive like that in a real car.
But you've refined it over time, and got used to it. See, that's the most important thing. And these sessions, then, is it? Do you get people from the public joining? Is it only members?
No. It's in the championships and in my club, it's basically only the members. But if you just go in an open session, you're perfectly fine.
Do you think can they control the speed of the carts, number one?
No, again.
Okay,
but some carts are faster than others. That's
of course.
Sure.
Now, I know some indoor tracks, they have a remote and they control the speed for the public, especially.
Mm-hmm.
But as long as they let you drive, then just driving against public on busy times at this track would be amazing.
I have tried a couple of times. It's
but how was
really stressful.
It's stressful. Why is it stressful?
Because there's this there's a million guys, and some of them I've experienced. Some people, they just don't brake at all into a corner and just go directly into me.
And that's the thing. I encourage people to do those. Put yourself in these really, hard positions, because public drivers will do unpredictable things, and it just helps you build your racecraft for the professional races after, where you're more prepared for different outcomes and different situations. In public karting, people will you don't know what they're going to do. They're going to block, they're going to defend, they're going to dive bomb, they're going to cut you off, or they don't have the awareness as well. I'd still encourage you to do a practice session at a very busy time with the public, which would be what, Friday night, Saturday night, you think?
Yeah, something like that. In the weekends,
Weekends, yeah. It's definitely worth doing that, even if it's once a week or every couple of weeks. Just for the fun of it. You can make it into like an overtaking challenge. If you bring one of your friends as well.
I've seen some people on YouTube that I know. They've done like last to first challenges.
Yeah.
They look pretty fun.
And you both bump draft each other and go through the field and overtake together. It becomes really, really nice. That's how you can add a bit more excitement.
But today actually we have, I think 3 new we were just gonna try it. And then they caused a lot of chaos because they were not as fast. And I mean, chaos, that's an understatement, because it was crazy. It was crazy. But also I had a lot of fun because I was way more competitive. You will see the video next week, hopefully. But I even got what's called spun out one time. A lot of people was also spun out. So it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Absolutely.
Also, if you just go back just a little bit, just before the here. So actually, Ben also said that if it's the last lap, just go straight instead of turning into the corner. Just go straight. Gain about 2/10, he said.
Okay, there you go. See, take the shorter path. All these things help.
So that's what I tried to do.
Let me know if you get the updated footage. That'll be good to.
I mean, it's gonna be an interesting video. I also did some mistakes, maybe for some gaps. Actually, the video has some better footage actually of me and my friend fighting. If you want to look at that.
You got that now?
Yeah, it's right in the video. It was qualifying at first. 10 minutes.
Right. Because I was wondering the first couple of minutes. I thought this was. Let's go to it.
So this that was basically just qualifying, and now it's
okay. So you're starting P1 basically.
P1, yeah, 2/10 faster.
That's awesome. I think this is where it gets exciting.
I had a really great fight with him. It was really fun, and it was a very good preparation for the championship race on the Wednesdays.
That's it. That's what you want. So here you're defending. It's gonna go for the switch.
He got a better exit.
Yeah.
He leaves the space, so I could just take that position.
That's good. That's nice. Respectful driving. But he's gonna fight. He's gonna come back.
Exactly. But I spoil it and say that I ended up winning.
I think you were just playing with him.
Also that you gotta manipulate the driver. You gotta force him to make some choices and basically position him how you want to position him.
So you're always thinking ahead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also I'm taking that wide so that he can take the inside and
so sometimes you gotta sacrifice the line just for the next corner. So here I'm on the inside, I'm on the outside, but it becomes the inside for this corner.
Because if the apex as normally, what he could do is that he could just stay behind me and maybe do an overtake.
Yeah, exactly.
So make him stay on the outside, force him to make the decision. Then you got the corner secured.
And even over here, just make sure he's behind. I think you might have to go defensive again, coming down the main straight.
Yeah, a couple of. Also,
Yeah.
at some point I
Right,
remember, because I've had this problem for a while, is that this what was it called? That mode you talked about.
Flow state.
Flow state, exactly.
Yeah, flow state.
I remember at the last championship, I was P1 and I had a 5-7 second gap.
Mhm.
But the problem was just that I got out of this flow state because
Right.
I started thinking about the end of the race instead of thinking I was in the race.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
I think I'm working on more the mentally.
The mental game
But-
is crazy in karting, because the
Yeah.
thing is, you know how to do each lap, you know the breaking points, you know the line and all that. So now, can you stay focused and just do it as similar as possible each lap without any mistakes?
Exactly.
That's the tricky part. And yeah, track time does help, but then sometimes you can have all the track time you want, but if mentally you're not focused and you're not setting markers, it becomes difficult. What I like to do is within the race have markers, so to not get distracted, you're focusing on something basically for each sector. Sector, I don't know if you can see your lap time. Do you actually look
I
over
did.
here? Was
Also on the
Yeah.
steering wheel there you can place your phone and
Oh,
open.
Yeah, just
Then
over here.
you can get all your lap time on the phone
Amazing.
directly.
That can help a lot because you constantly refer back to something. Then also just markers in terms of the track. So now I've exited turn 1. Let's say I'm leading the race and P2 is over here. So he's coming on the entry of turn 1. As I take turn 1, on this lap, he was side by side with me. But on the next lap, if we skip to it, like somewhere, where is it? Over here. So the previous lap, he was basically alongside me. Now this is the next lap. Now the gap, he's actually not side by side, he's further away, he's down. You immediately know you gain time like that.
Yeah.
So that helps you establish the flow state because you're now not overthinking, you're thinking about, factors due to the race, and then of course exactly driving, and that helps with the pace. So even if you have a phone, you can tell if you're gaining or losing to people. Similarly, if the gap comes down, you know you're losing. So just change something on your line.
Yeah. But also I just try to shut off my brain because if I at the end of the race that because I'm in P1, I'm gonna win, it messes up my brain.
That's it, and the pressure of that. The last lap is always the slowest lap. It's the most difficult one. Yeah, with you see, there's going to be levels to your driving. So there's something called maintenance driving, which is just you driving at the bare minimum and you get around the lap and it's a decent time. Then there's the more advanced driving where you're really locked in, you're in this flow state, you're pushing the limits, you're on the limit of grip and all this kind of stuff. Then there's the overdriving where you're pushing too hard.
Yeah.
That's where you
just
start
like at that
making-
corner before.
Yeah, exactly. So if you just look at this, I think, where was it? Just a little bit of overdriving where you get
a bit more.
There we go.
So yeah, I try to brake harder because I want to brake as short as possible, and then
you just get a big slide like that. So that's just overdriving. Then the underdriving is where you're braking too less and you're leaving time there. So when you're leading a race, you're constantly flicking through these styles of driving, but you want to generally keep it at either the maintenance level or the advanced level where you're just locked in. Avoid mistakes. The moment you give them, your competitors, a chance to close the gap, it just fires them up. Same thing if you're in P2 and suddenly the gap to P1 came down, you're like, no, this is on, I can catch him. And then mentally, as you said, then that affects you. Oh, he's behind me, the pressure, all that. So racing is amazing for that. And some of the top drivers in the world, they have really, really elite mindset where they're able to just zone out. And each driver has their own ways. Some people have like a pre-race ritual. Some people, just back their confidence and ability to drive. They just say, no, I've done this track so many times, I'm going to win. If you look at people like Lewis Hamilton and things, reason why Lewis Hamilton wins at Silverstone, his home race all the time, is he loves that track. Similarly, Ayrton Senna, he loved Monaco, for example. Another driver who likes Monaco is Danny Ricciardo. Years back, he was
I
one of the
remember.
experts at that track. And you'll have your own preferences. So mentally, they don't have to overthink. It's just turn up, do their job, go home, kind of thing. They're that confident. Was there anything else, Hassan?
Well,
before we move on to the
the
next round?
question was, it's just then what's the next step? Because personally, I don't know where I could improve on the track. But I just don't know what's the next step.
In terms of lap time improvements,
But just in general. But
I think if you're looking in general, look to diversify the races you do. It's good that you got a local track, you're doing local competitions, training sessions. Now try to experience other tracks and other competitions. And I'd encourage you to get onto outdoor. Outdoor gives you that more authentic feel, and then you can start, experiencing wet weather driving as well. So that's generally how we'll be in real life, where you're outdoors. In Europe, well, it rains a lot. So experience that, get used to that aspect of driving and those types of competitions. I'm sure they've got SWS in Denmark. Have they got SWS at any tracks near you?
I saw what SWS, but I don't think there is SWS in Denmark, actually.
So it's track specific. They have to have Sodi carts, number one, and then they got to run some kind of endurance or sprint race. That I'd
I'm
highly
pretty sure we
recommend.
don't have it.
Look into it.
Yeah,
again.
I'll try.
You basically go to the Sodi website and then
I have it. I have it open right now.
Amazing. Just search for Denmark, and it should show a list of tracks who would have it. But basically, with SWS, it's a global championship, so you're up against drivers from all over the world, and then you try to win your national competition at your track, and go for world finals. So there's bigger prizes, bigger incentive like that. But in the immediate moment, get out to some other tracks.
Okay. And how
Try
about
and-
in terms of lap times?
Lap times, you just got to keep training.
Okay.
What you got to sit down and identify at this track. What am I doing good? And tick all those parts off.
Okay.
So you might tick turn 1, turn 5, turn 7. You might tick a lot of things. Then you can look at all the parts that you did not tick. And those generally are where your focus should be. So when you can start focusing on specific things, then improving becomes easy. So I'm going to keep all the good things the same. And these small improvements, training session by training session, I'm going to focus on rectifying this. And you've got to really go down to the basics. So let's say you're struggling with the turn 5 hairpin. I'm just making that up.
Yeah.
Turn 5 hairpin. Where am I entering the corner? Where am I braking at the corner? Where am I apexing at the corner? Where am I exiting at the corner? Okay, at the moment, I'm doing early brake with a middle apex and a tight exit. All right, let me try wide entry and go for a late apex. See how that works. I might have to brake a bit later. And you just make constant feedback and data about how the new change affected your driving positively or negatively. Then you can know whether to implement that into your overall line itself, or you got to just find something else. Racing is all about experimenting. If you just keep doing the same thing, you're going to get the same results. And see, that's a good thing if you're a top driver. That's what the top drivers do. They have their fixed line, and then they'll be adding small things like that. But if you're hitting, a dead end, a brick wall, you got to go down to the basics and analyze exactly what you can try to change.
Okay, it makes sense.
No, all the best. I'm looking forward to hearing how you get on.
Yeah, and as well as I'm also, I've made this deal with a guy I've met. with trying to his Rotex Senior. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Trying something else than
Owner
An indoor-
karting is always the next step, because with rentals, see, if you got the budget, rentals, and you're a complete beginner, within 3 months you can just get a good foundation and move on to the owner karting. You see, as I said, it comes down to budget at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But that's like the pure form of karting, and it's basically a mini version of F1. So you start getting into teams, and then teams are competing against each other. Prizes are a lot bigger, and yeah, the standard of driving is very high. Like it's incredible.
Yeah. It makes sense.
Step by step.
Step by step. Yeah.
That's it.
Thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure, Hassan. It's always great to have you on Track Help. We're just coming towards the end of the session now. We've got about 15 minutes to go. And we got Magnum. Magnum just subbed. Thank you so much, Magnum. Much appreciated. Hope you're finding these stream entertaining. We got drivers from all over the world in the academy. We had Samuel actually who was asking, is this race hall Denmark or Sweden? It was
in Denmark, and it's in Copenhagen.
There you go. I'm going to come to the final couple of bits of footage. We've got Eddie and Harry. So guys, let's finish off with you. I'm going to start with Harry very, very quickly.
Hello,
And then we'll finish off with Eddie. Harry, what's the Raura footage?
Yeah, this is Raura. So this is my first ever time on track.
First ever time. Wow.
Yeah.
How do you approach a new track? What's your sort of mindset and things like that?
So I paid for an extra test session before, so I kind of just thought, so I just kind of use this as like another way to kind of practice and just see how to find the way around the track. So I knew the original track. I don't know what now I have to do everything. What it was just find my braking points. One issue I had with this kart was that the brakes were incredibly like sharp.
Okay.
So like
very
you
sensitive.
would just lock up very easily. Like there was very little play in the brakes. You just lock up immediately. And it wasn't like the nice lock-up braking where the tires like kind of skid and you're like on the limit of grip. It's more just like that you have no rear grip and the engine's idle, and it's just kind of like it's like the clutch is it's weird.
Beautiful day, by the way. Beautiful.
Yeah. Raura weather usually isn't this nice. Usually it's very rainy, but it's quite nice today.
And this is a practice, I guess.
Yeah, so this is like the session before they get into the races. So this is like a pre-test, then you have the practice qualifying and the heats and the final. So basically, it was just to push the limits as much as possible in the session. So you'll find me maybe spinning out once or twice. I don't know. You see there, that's like kind of the brakes there.
Yeah, and you use that to test out your car. You've got a pack ahead of you. Are these drivers you're on similar pace with, or do you try and team up out when you go out on track?
I didn't really know much of the drivers. I only know a few.
Okay.
I think one of them is actually Addy's teammate, funnily enough.
Okay.
So it was just like kind of trying to find the overtaking points, braking points, how to defend, and everything pretty much.
Yeah, I think it's good if you have someone similar pace with you and sort of work together as well. How effective is bump drafting in Raura? I think it's got lots of straights, yeah. But generally, you're saying it's effective.
Yeah, it's very effective down the back straight. So I mean, if you watch again, the brakes locked.
Yeah, always here high. Heavy braking points. What did you try and do to overcome that?
More stable braking.
Yeah.
So a bit like cruise.
Smooth on the brakes.
Yeah. So this is where like the toes, the heaviest. It's like really good. There's a lake on the left, so you don't want to crash into anyone. But
don't go flying over that.
Yeah, and once you get the overtake, you kind of like locked it in. No one can really like defend it, which is pretty good.
This is beautiful though. You caught up to the pack. I don't know. Once you start getting packs of 5, 6, I feel the pace is quite slow with those.
Yeah, So
Yeah,
you, so learning the track as well. So like I was on new front tires, and the rears were very old. So it was like a varying grip with all the different karts, because some of them had fresher fronts, some of them had older rears.
Yeah. How does the kart system work in Club 100? Is it every session new kart? Or
Yeah,
random?
I mean, you can't really decide because you have your own number plate. It's not like they're actually like fixed numbers.
Okay, yeah.
So basically, it's just like you have like a line of carts, and
Yeah.
whatever number. So say you're starting first, you'll be on the first cart. If you're 23rd, you'll be on the 23rd cart in line.
Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah, that's a quick kart, bro. You don't have everyone pulling out a number and then assigning you just based on the classifications. Yeah, and I think quite equal though. The 100 karts.
They have two fleets: the senior fleet and the junior fleet. And the issues with the junior fleet, apparently, there's a lot of disparity, and there's a lot of difference between each kart.
Yeah, that's just the issue when it comes to trying to maintain a whole fleet. But if they just use it for Club 100, then I mean, how often do they sort of change engines and things like that, or even do maintenance?
I think they're rebuilt every like 100.
Okay, so plenty of. Have they been rebuilt recently?
We don't really know. They don't really tell us. You can't
They
really
don't know.
tell.
Yeah, you got to know the mechanics of the inside and things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Overall, you're happy with your performance though from Raura?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good fun. I mean, yeah, talking about kind of like the differences. Luckily, you have I think you know Dante Dillon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he like kind of he works for them. So he's like kind of like their tester. So even when there's races ongoing, he'll like go out and just test the karts.
Amazing.
And he'll tell the mechanics what's up with them and everything.
Yeah, he's the guy to ask for some tips. Yeah, he's done all these tracks, I reckon.
Exactly, but it's really good because it's the first ever time Club 100's been to this track.
Okay. Right. Yeah, I kept thinking Super GT's video was Club 100, but it was older kart that he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. This is quite a significant step. And are they going to be coming back? You reckon?
I mean, with the amount of crashes and technical failures they had, I'm not sure. I think I pushed a bit too much there.
It's practice. It's good.
I think the issue. What were we talking about?
If they're going to come back to.
Oh, yeah. So 2 radiators broke.
Oh gosh.
Turn 1 has a lot of crashes.
Yeah.
My friend's Nasu panel it was destroyed, and so his rear axle. So there was lots of crashes, but I think I'm not sure, but it was good fun.
Honestly, the main thing is you got to do your best in each round. And how many more rounds now for the season?
I'm on the reserve list for their final round at Buckmore Park, but I'm not sure if it's going to happen.
Keep me posted how it goes. Looking forward to some more footage of yours. And was there anything else you wanted to discuss?
No, that's all.
It's been a pleasure as always, Harry. We're coming to the end of today's track help. We got about 10 or so minutes. Do we have? Is it the real Kit Belofsky? What's up, Kit? Can you hear us? You got a mic?
Yeah.
Wow, welcome. We got a very famous karting driver with us. Kit, where are you joining us from?
England.
Amazing. Which category do you drive in? You're in owner karts, right?
Yeah, OKJ.
Amazing. You know, Kit, first video I saw of yours was cooking steak on a kart.
Yeah.
Then it was cooking eggs. Then it was cooking chicken. Who do you do your videos with? Is that your dad?
It's kind of my dad, but for also a guy what I do with like social media.
Amazing. I have to say you've amassed a huge following. I'll just share your YouTube, for example. You've got 2 million subscribers, nearly 3 million subscribers.
You're very close.
if you go to your most popular, this is the chicken one.
Yeah.
300 million views. So which track is this?
It's Rye House. It's in Hoddesdon.
Ah, right house. Okay, okay. How long have you been karting for?
7, 8 years.
7, 8 years. Amazing. And did you start from cadets? I guess straight.
No, I started from Bambinos, where I just started with the IKR.
Okay, excellent. And so you've just done owner karting throughout, right?
Mostly, yeah.
Amazing. Have you done any rental?
Yeah, I've driven a rental.
What's your favorite rental track?
Let me think. I've driven rentals, Ryan, Fry House, and the ones in Harlow.
Okay. Buckmore Park. Have you tried Buckmore?
Yeah, I've been Butmore.
Buckmore is one of the good ones. Then there's of course a couple up north. There's the Daytona tracks. Have you tried any Daytona tracks?
No, I haven't been any Daytona, no.
Right. Was there any particular footage you wanted to go over in today's?
Yeah.
Yeah. You got a link to it?
Yeah, I'll share my screen.
Awesome. Oh, that's even better. Talk us through it. Talk
Yeah.
us through it.
This is one of the test days for the World Championship.
That was last week, right?
Yeah.
Wow, wow. This is some awesome footage. Talk me through it.
Yeah.
So what is the World Championships? Where does it take place?
This was in PFI up in Lincolnshire.
Yep. Legendary track.
Mhm.
And you were in the junior category?
Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. How was the weekend though?
It was good. I got second, I did, but I think I could have gotten P1, but I had a problem with my visor in the final. I did.
Okay, okay. You know, I was following some of the live stream when I got the chance. I think I just caught the seniors though, but it'll be great to see your footage over here. You can feel free to play it whilst we chat. And this is probably the highest level of karting. Yeah, you can say.
Yeah, most likely since it is run by the FIA.
Yep, and top drivers from all over the world.
Yeah.
How do you like PFI?
Yeah, I've driven it for years and years, so I know it very well.
Excellent, excellent. Is this a practice session you're going out for,
Yeah,
Collie?
it's just a practice session right here.
All right. How does Power World Championships format work? A couple of days?
It starts on Thursday with 2 days of testing, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the Friday you have, I think, one test session, and then you do quali.
Okay.
And then you have 2 heats you do that day.
Amazing. So it's quite quick, the turnaround.
Yeah, it's fairly quick, and then after that, then you have a heat. And you have a day of a bunch of heats, and then wherever you place in that adds up the points, and that's where you start for the final, or the pre,
Amazing.
and then pre gives you 25% more points than heats. So after the pre, wherever you're in the standings, then it levels out where you're finishing the final or where you start.
Gotcha, gotcha. How was your weekend?
It was decent. Had some incidents where some drivers, but it was all right.
Is this the first time you've done Car World Championships, or you've done it before?
I did it last year, but I wasn't in a very competitive team. I was with Beryl.
Okay. So this year you're with?
I was with Fusion.
Which chassis do they use?
KR.
Mm-hmm. What's the difference between Viral and KR? What's your opinion?
I've driven all the karts, but the main difference is with the flexibility and also how like it turns.
All right.
Since with this, it's a lot less like sturdier, but it turns a lot easier. I'd say. Like the steering, you only take a look at with my steering. I only turn it a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. Look at that. Look at that.
But,
and that's just based on the chassis, or maybe setup you can tweak.
Yeah, it's just mainly the setup and also chassis. It takes a little bit to get used to, but once you're used to it, it's good.
How long have you driven a KR then?
I used to drive a KR back in Mini. I used to a few years ago, and then I went to Birrell for a year.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was with Sodi for about 6 months, and then after the first couple of races, I
Mm.
wasn't getting the right equipment in that, and well, the team wasn't doing right. So
Okay.
then I left there and I went to Fusion for the first race of the Europeans.
Amazing, amazing. How do you sort of plan your season? Is it you sit down, you make some goals for the year? I'm going to be with this team, do these races, and then you stick it out and then assess.
Well, you kind of just plan out what races you're gonna do
Mm.
that year, and well, of course, all my races are gonna be with Fusion, I think, for next year. Okay.
Okay, and is that throughout Europe you're going to do
Yeah.
different tracks? Awesome. What sort of championships are lined up?
Most likely doing European Champions of the Future, and depending of what exactly is, maybe WSK.
Amazing, amazing. Have you done any tracks in Middle East?
Any tracks in the Middle East? I was maybe gonna do the Bahrain, I think, one time,
Yeah.
but I had a race on that weekend, I think, different one.
I'll tell you what, if you come down to Middle East, to Qatar or even to Bahrain, let me know. I'll put you in touch with the Kart Republic owner. It's under Forza Racing. Really, really great guys and very, very
Yeah,
successful.
Forza.
Forza, you know Forza? Forza
Yeah, they're
Racing?
racing this weekend. I know the guy that owns it.
Yeah, and Najashi, he's a Bahraini guy.
Hmm.
And really, really solid track you can drive on in Bahrain. So we'll stay in touch. Did you join through the academy then? I just want to confirm.
What do you mean by joining through the academy?
So this regards today's meet. Did you join the KTips Academy? Then you joined this Google Meet?
I was in a call with Harry. I was in a call with Harry, so then I joined.
Amazing. So you're Harry's friend?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Harry, you should have said you're friends with Kit Belowski. Yeah, that's us. Well, let's stay in touch. I'll let me shoot you a follow on Insta as well, and it'll be nice to catch up. But do some videos, yeah.
Yeah.
Kit Bolowski and KTips.
I think I need to do a training day with Fusion, huh?
KTips is going to join Fusion and do World Champs.
What's the procedure for joining championships like this? You need certain license and then maybe experience as well.
You technically don't need the experience, but you do need the license.
Yeah, license necessary.
Well, with FIA regulated kind of championships and that,
yeah,
you need to have an international license. It's near. Well, it's very easy to get, to be honest.
It is, right? Just through your federation.
Yeah. If you have a Motorsport UK MS UK license, you can just apply for an international, and it should come.
Gotcha.
You just have to do like a doctor's test, but that's the thing, every year.
Yep. You do the medical. Yep.
Yeah.
And then it'll be valid for a year. So majority of my viewers are just starting out in karting. They're doing a lot of rental karts. How do you describe, let's say, the team environment? So you've been part of lots of different teams. What's the perks you get with being in a team?
In my opinion, if you don't speak the language of the team, of what like team it is, it's very, very difficult.
So it's about the relationship you have with them.
Yeah, it's mainly about the relationship and also the language barrier.
Oh, so generally, like if they speak English or not?
Yeah, since well, they're always going to be so with Bill, I remember they didn't speak a lot of English, very little. And well, I didn't have an English speaking mechanic. I didn't, so it was very difficult to get around with what I want with the car. And yeah.
Do you have a driver coach on the team as well?
Yeah.
And how does coaching work?
With data. Usually.
Data, yep. So you got Alfano or Micron, and do you and Unipro? That's I was gonna say. How does a typical coaching session look? Let's say it's on a practice day and then obviously a race day.
Usually isn't coaching. It's just usually like so near enough with all the kids, so they hire one.
Okay, but it's there's somebody there. You can ask questions.
Yeah.
Maybe look over your footage.
Yeah, they
Things
look
like
over the footage, the data, and all of that.
Yeah. And how helpful is it?
Yeah, it's very useful. It is since they don't since all of them are English speaking, so it's very easy to get around with them.
Yeah.
So some of the other ones where I've been in other teams, it's been fairly difficult in a way especially with like the language and that. So then, yeah, it's just been very difficult.
For those who want to know, when you're in World Championships, what is the difference between the guys who are first and then everyone else? Because it's very close. Even if you watch the races.
Yeah, I remember my quali. I'm pretty sure it was 0.2 thousandths.
Yeah, wow.
Or second between me, what was in third, and the guy in P1. All the
Would you say
grid
that setup or just line or tires were better?
It's just mainly where track position. Just all the teams are very similar, but for it's just track position.
Track position. I've heard people say that. You got to get lucky with that. And then in the race itself, the top guys sort of they don't battle, they get ahead, and then
maybe
not really.
how the racing's going. The one thing is though, of what I gotta say, when I was going from British karting to European, so what I found out, what was very interesting, is that Europeans are they're either very, very easy to get around, they're very, very easy to like overtake in that. They're not very difficult with racing.
Okay.
Of what I think.
But then others are more aggressive, elbows out.
Yeah, some of it's very mellow, the grid, since some of them, like 50% of it's very difficult. And they're very competitive and very harsh. But for some of them are very like easy and they're just very fast. That's why they're at the front.
Gotcha. Final thing before we got a couple of questions from others. Kaio and Diddy, go for it. You guys want to ask? Go for it. I'll ask mine.
Yeah. Sorry, I have a question. Someone said that your idol's F1 Award.
Here's that strike for.
Oh no, please. Right. Second of all, I do like team sport.
Yes, I know
and, that. Yeah, I do team sport, and I just missed out on BIKC locals, and I'm going into KZ2. Would you recommend a shark helmet or a Zam?
Well, I don't recommend them in my opinion. Also, just to give you an idea, Omar, this is also a guy that I know.
Can you guys hear me?
Okay.
Also PJ.
It's pronounced Kyo.
Kyo, what's up, Kyo?
Yeah, it's okay.
Got a question?
Yeah, I have a general question about turning, because I generally I started karting about 2 months ago, but I've been twice.
Okay.
Hopefully gonna start going weekly. But when it comes to mainly hairpins, I absolutely suck at turning at them.
Really?
Yeah.
And are you driving indoors or outdoors?
Outdoors.
Which track do you drive at?
Wilton Mill.
Wilton Mill, okay.
Oh, I know Wilton very well.
That's a
the
classic
smaller one
track
I've been on.
Like the bottom left one, like.
Yeah. The mill track, the smaller.
Yeah, I know. Oh wait, the smaller one. Yeah, wait.
Yeah, hopefully.
Go for it,
I
Kit. If you've got some footage, put it on. You put it on your side. You do it.
The footage I have, half of the time it's my dad recording the wrong person.
No, that's fine. I think this is an old laptop I've got over here. This is probably here. So this pre new chicane at the end. Talk me through the chicane that you're struggling with.
Oh shoot! Hold on, I don't even remember it.
Middle part of the track. I reckon this will be what it's not chicane, hairpin. This is the hairpin, I guess. This is one of the hairpins. They're here.
It's kind of
Oh no, it's not this track. It's not this track. It's a different one.
This
We're talking about the one on the left. Look.
Let's just talk generally about a hairpin very, very quickly, because we also let me bring up a track map as well. And what is it exactly you're struggling with? Is it turning? You're drifting, you're sliding. What's happening?
Yeah, I'm like often I end up like drifting into hairpins, and it's just
It's just mainly with your brake. You need to hold it more going into the corner.
Spot on. What happens is the moment you start drifting in any of the corners, probably carrying too much speed. So think about braking. Are you braking, first of all?
Yeah.
Where are you braking in relation to the corner? Early, mid, late?
More like where you drew the first line.
Let's say it's just on corner entry somewhere.
Yeah.
In a hairpin, especially if you're struggling, try to set braking points early, and then be comfortable that you've slowed the cart down and you can transition onto the accelerator smoothly. What you don't want to do is overdrive. So overdriving is where you're almost coming to a stop, let's say at the middle of the corner or even on the exit of the corner. So slow on the entry, you're going to be fast on the exit. As you do more and more laps, then you can start using the brakes to turn. So especially in rental carts, the harder you press the brakes, the more the cart is going to turn. You lock the rear tires, you get some movement. So start applying more pressure on the brakes. Always be mindful of the sound of your engine, though. You press the brakes too hard, and then the sound of the engine cuts out completely. Takes time to build it back up. Then you're probably being a bit too aggressive. So find the limit between hard braking, but then being smooth as well. Generally, for a hairpin, I'd say the next time you go to a track, let me brake early, be in control, be well before the corner, and slowly transition onto the accelerator before the apex. So as I come out the corner over here, I'm gaining lap time as opposed to losing it. Was anything else, Kyle?
Not sure, to be honest.
Kyle, what I recommend, keep your questions for next session. You're in the KTips Academy, right?
Yeah, I literally just joined it.
Every Sunday we have the same track help discussion. Have a track map, you have some footage. Be sure to post it to the pinned link. We spend a couple of hours going through at least 5 submissions. Adi, you still there? Adi, I want to round off whilst we just watch a bit of your footage. You've got just remind me of the track name.
Camberley or Blackbush.
Camberley. Kit, have you tried Camberley?
Yes. Yes, I've been around Camberley. I think it was back when Bambino.
This is the 360. Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Talk me through this.
If I remember, this is like Daytona for the first corner, isn't it?
I mean, to be honest, it's relatively old footage. Like, this is back in April. So, like, I've made a lot of improvements since then, basically. Like, that floating curb just there. I should be basically doing, like, flying straight over it. Braking, that. Lock it up into turn 1. What I found is not taking any of the green bit, because it's like, see, like the curb, it's just normal curb color.
Okay.
It's green, but the green bit is like a lot sharper curb. You see, it's like the red and white is a lot flatter, and then on the left is green. It's like really sharp.
Gotcha.
Because it used to be completely like just normal curb, but they painted over it and made it sharper to stop people hitting it.
Gotcha.
This
is insane. Yeah, I can understand why it's physical.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's physical. I probably should be taking a bit more care. Like, there's a lot. Basically, there's a lot to it. Like, it's a
There
tiny
is, and
track,
the
but
overhead shot does not look anywhere near as challenging as this. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's just an oval almost. But no, it's far from it.
like it's really easy to underestimate it, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
When
like
you
you just look at the track map, it's it's a bit overwhelming. But
see the footage, you can see the undulation and the changes, and it's
Yeah.
insane. So turn one, coming up to it, you can see the banking over here almost.
it's like you can't really sort of see it.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
How long do tires last?
Well, so here they use Maxi Sports, and it's like a really low tire degrading track. Like they last ages. Basically.
Okay.
Like for the club rounds, they only really do club rounds. They don't really have many series held here. It's 2 sets of tires per year.
Okay.
More focus on budget. And it's really good basically. It keeps it nice and fair.
Excellent. Yeah.
Really good racing compared to the Forest Edge that's open. But yeah.
This is just a practice session from.
Yeah, it's a practice. I don't have any race clips because they don't allow GoPros on the radiator. I think it's a bit of a stupid rule, to be honest. Because you allow them on your Nassau, just not your radiator.
Oh, okay. So it's not even about.
Yeah, it's what difference does it make? You know?
Right. Gotcha. No, I'm sure there's always some excuse that they've got.
Yeah.
And you're planning to go here when for your race?
Well, this weekend.
Oh, it's this weekend, okay. And how's the format going to be? Quali and race, or?
There's a practice session, 3 heats, and a final.
Amazing.
They don't really have B finals and A finals because the grid count is always relatively low. At max, maybe 14 people.
Okay.
Because it's more of a small local track.
Yeah. What are the expectations for the weekend?
Well, I'm still on novice plates. My last race on novice plates. And
that's always the best. It's only going to go up from there.
Finally off.
Do you have to? Did they put you at the back of the grid automatically?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't think there's any more novices because everyone started at the start of the year there, but I only had to miss a couple rounds.
Gotcha.
I'm probably the only novice. I mean, at least the last race I was the only novice.
Yep, get it out of the way, get it over and done with, and then.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself in pace? Let's say, generally though.
Well, I mean, if you look at the last 2 rounds, I'm at most a second off. I think. I can just check actually. Because
they're gaining it.
What's that?
Yeah, where do you think they're gaining that? Is it in Kart? Or?
I honestly couldn't tell you. I don't have a clue myself. But there's probably some hidden secret or I don't know about.
Maybe just more experience.
Yeah, probably experience.
But this is your home track. You got to prove yourself.
Yeah.
That's the advantage you're gonna have.
Last round I was 4/10 off the fastest lap.
Small progress, and you'll slowly get there. I think you should go into this race with all the confidence. Your home track, you've got nothing to lose, staying at the back.
Yeah.
And only go forward, kind of thing. They have trouble. Don't want to damage the cart and things like that.
This thing is, it's quite easy to spin off.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Especially turn 1, I find really dodgy with my whole braking thing. It's it's a really late brake. But a little bit too late, and you're straight into the tire barrier. You know, there's no.
That kind of thing. Gotcha. Well, keep me posted. Let me know how it goes.
All right.
And we're looking forward to getting some footage if you obviously have.
Oh yeah, I'll see if I can buy that Nassau mount and then maybe get some race footage.
Definitely.
Race on Saturday, so hopefully.
All the best. Wishing you success in the race. Let us know how it goes. It's been a pleasure to have everyone on track help today. Lots of different drivers, and we're going to round off. I think it was very, very successful. We started off by reviewing the ebook today. Free ebook, guys. Download it on the KTips website. Let me know your feedback. The new and updated 2nd edition. Again, join the academy. Send a request. Free to join. Kit, join the academy so you can join future track help sessions. Yeah. I'll get Harry to send you the details for that. And we're going to call it a wrap for today. Any final questions before we go? All right. I take that as perfect session. Guys, let's keep in touch for next week, 6 p.m. GMT, for episode 25 of Track Help, with a special guest next week. Stay tuned for the announcement. But until then, guys, I'll see you. Goodbye.